Hey, everybody. How's it going? David here, host of the GNN Cantina Happy Hour on Thursday nights. Um, Today, we're doing a special thing. I've done these before in the past, and we're going to go ahead and do another one now. We're going to do a live Lego build. In case you haven't noticed, I'm quite the Lego fan. What you see behind me is maybe about a quarter of my collection. Um, So huge Lego enthusiast. Been collecting Lego since 1999 when they first came out with the Star Wars lines, and that's all I collect is the Star Wars Legos. So we're gonna get started, and let me get it. This is what we're working on today. This is new. Came out January 1st, released January 1st. This is the 501st Clone Troopers Battle Pack. 501st Clone Troopers Battle Pack. This is not the first 501st Battle Pack that they've had, but this is the latest one. This one has the, 119 pieces. Excuse me, 119 pieces. Retails for 19.99. You can find it at Walmart, Target, Lego Store. Basically, any retailers that carry any decent amount of Legos, you can find this thing. So this one is not as hard to find. At least for me, it was not as hard to find as the original 501st Battle Pack. That original one, which was all of these right here, man, that was tough. That was a tough nut to crack on that one. But we're gonna go ahead and get started. Let me get this other camera up so that you can see what we're dealing with here. We open it up, and I got it. Oh, I love the smell of new Lego. And it is, yes, we had a discussion about this within Geek News Now. Yes, it is Lego, not Legos. The plural of Lego is Lego. It's not Legos. There's no S there. Those of us that are true fans of this get it. Basically, with this set, we're getting four 501st Troopers, including a specialist and a commander, and then also we're getting this really cool anti-vehicle cannon. So let's get our pieces out here. And I'm going to go ahead and, before I even crack the instructions open, I think I'm going to go ahead and, uh, yeah, we'll do it like this. In fact, I'll even lay out the instructions so that you folks can see. And if you're following along at home, if you've got any questions, oh, look, Cam's online from Cam and Focus. What's up, Cam? How's it going? Cam is online. Cam and Focus. He also is co-host with me on the Cantina Happy Hour. So let's get this show on the road. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the commander. It looks like, and I think if I'm not mistaken, all of these. I'm kind of a stickler for how having it exactly the way it is in the uh, in the instructions, just because all of my sets are in the instructions, and I love having them there. Um, I had when the you can't see it right now, but when the actually, you know what? I'm going to turn this little light on right here so I can see a little bit better. I didn't turn my regular lights on, but when the Force Awakens came out, that was one of the big things. Was the Force Awakens launched, but before the movie actually launched, nobody knew anything about what the ships were or anything like that, and the ships themselves were. Oh, I don't need you. I don't think I need you. There was not a whole lot known about the ships as far as what what's going to happen with them, what are they going to look like, things like that. So when the Legos released, all they had was like concept stuff to work with. That's basically they said, okay, here's what they're going to look like, not necessarily what they're going to do, but here's what they're going to look like. And Lego kind of ran with that. And as it turns out, um, they got it wrong. Funny enough, they got it wrong because uh, one of the things that they got wrong was the fact that they had the Kylo Ren shuttle was. Hang on a minute. I'm going to turn on another light. I need to. I can't. Got a. Well, that doesn't help either. Hang on just 1 second, folks. Hang on. That might help a little bit. But anyway, the Kylo Ren's shuttle was a was a big to do because the shuttle itself, they didn't realize that the wings folded down. They thought the wings were just locked up. And so when that set came out, the original Kylo Ren shuttle came out. Um, that was a mistake that was on the ship, was that they didn't fold. Now somebody came out later and said, "Hey, here's a modification, and you can change it to where they do fold." And I made use of that modification, and I went and changed it, and then I had to go and change it back because it was literally driving me crazy that it was sitting upstairs in my room and it was the wrong configuration of that ship. I had to have it back. My OCD kicked in. I had to have it back in the uh, in the original configuration. So then a few years later, of course, when the Rise of Skywalker, or actually, was it the Rise of Skywalker? Yeah, the Rise of Skywalker came out. They re-released Kylo Ren's shuttle, and they did it right. They made it. I mean, it was even down to the color scheme was the right color scheme. So the original one was like a dark gray, and I cannot get this. There it goes. There it goes. But yeah, the original one was like a dark gray, and they just really missed the ball on that one. Which that's not the first time that that's happened. They have one from the Last Jedi that was an Imperial Walker from the First Jedi, or from the Last Jedi, First Jedi, from the Last Jedi, but it didn't even appear in the film. I mean, even in the cutscenes, it did not appear. So it was kind of like, where did this come from? So anyway, I got one more clone here to deal with. Did I miss one? I only see the three. It's odd. But we'll put the commander. He's got his little thing going on here. And there you have the clones. We've got the clone commander right here. I'm going to try and hold him up to the camera so you can see him. I just flip him around. There we go. Clone commander. We've got I think this one's the specialist with the sniper rifle. And then the two other just troopers. So 501st. Vader's Fist, for those of you that don't know. Now we'll start working on the cannon, which is really cool. I sit here and say it's really cool without telling you all. I've built this set before already. This one is a second issue of this set that I have. I've bought it twice now, just because if you'll notice I've got all my 501st. I've got 501st battle packs, just because I kind of wanted an army of it. And so I'll have, before the day's out, I'll probably have 4 or 5 of these, but not right this second. Now, a lot of people have asked me what exactly is my favorite Lego set. Which one is my favorite of all the Star Wars ones? I would have to say probably my AT-AT back here, UCS AT-AT. It was I got it for $800 on the shelves. They bumped the price I think to $850 now. So I mean it's like insane. But the AT-AT is my absolute favorite vehicle within the Star Wars universe. And so I think though a very close second, I got it for Christmas quite a few years back. It was the Republic dropship with an ATOT. It was from Episode 3. It was a $200 set. It was a lot of money back then, but $200 set, and man, I loved that thing. I loved the way that it worked, the way that it functioned. It was a walker, and you'd fly the drop ship in, and it would pick up the walker. It had a mechanism to pick it up and fly off with it, or you could fly off and land it and then fly it back, fly it off. Oh, it was so much fun. What a great set that was. Is is not was. It still is. It's still a great set. It's actually on one of my shelves back that way. So one of these days, maybe I'll do a live tour of my room. That would be kind of cool. You can see all my stuff. So the Lego obsession for me, like I said, it kind of began in 1999. I had a bunch. I had a bunch. I had a ton of the toys from when I was a kid back in the late 70s, early 80s, and some of the stuff that I had a Death Star PlayStation. I had the Dagobah playset. I had the Star Destroyer playset. I had what else did I had a ton of stuff. I mean, almost all the figures. It was just I had a great collection. And one of the shelves that I had in my Star Wars room was specifically for the vintage stuff. Looks like Johnny Lynch is online. So one of the shelves that I had was strictly for my vintage Star Wars stuff, and it got to the point to where my Legos were so encompassing that I had to take it all down, and and that way I could have more room for my Legos. Well, it went a little bit further than that, and after a few years I was looking at it going, you know what, these things are just sitting in my closet, they're collecting dust, they're not doing anything. So I sold them. I committed a mortal sin, sold my vintage Star Wars stuff. But you know what though, with me, I mean, it was sitting in a closet not doing anything. It was Nobody could look at it, nobody could see it, and I was looking at it going, you know what, at this point it's just taking up space. And I sold it to somebody who was a collector and he wanted to display it in his room, and I was like, you know what? At least you're going to a good home. Man, I had a Job of the Hut playset. I had two or three AT-ATs. Um, Basically, if something was one time in the uh, in the Star Wars universe, I would buy it the one time. But if it showed up twice in the Star Wars universe, or if there was multiples of them in the Star Wars universe, then I would have multiples of them. So, like Greedo, I only needed one Greedo, so I only bought one Greedo. Han Solo, only needed one Han Solo, so I only bought. Well, I mean, I bought the different variations of the Han Solo, but I only bought one. But Stormtroopers, had a ton of Stormtroopers, had a ton of Imperial Royal Guards too. Um, just because there was multiples in the movie, I needed to have multiples. Makes sense, right? I thought so. And that was one of the biggest when I was let's see, I would have been about 17, I guess. My family moved from Salt Lake City back to Texas. We left Texas for a while. We came back, moved back to Texas. And when we moved back, we had the movers that were there and they were unloading the truck. Well, as they were unloading the truck, when my Star Wars stuff came off, I started putting it up. I started putting it on the shelves and displaying it, and it was really, really cool. Well, one of the movers looked at it and said, "Do you like this stuff?" I said, "Heck yeah, I like this stuff." He said, "Because I got a bunch of old stuff like this too, and I'm trying to. I'd like to get rid of it." And I was like, "Okay." He said, "Do you want to buy it?" I said, "Well, let me go see what you got." And went to his house a few days later. Went to his house a few days later, and he wasn't there, but his mom was there. And his mom had pulled all of his stuff down out of the attic, and man, he had some amazing, amazing stuff. He had an an AT-AT. He had a Millennium Falcon. He had now all of this stuff had boxes to it. It wasn't in the box, but he still had the boxes to it, and it was immaculate. I mean, just so well taken care of and well kept. Um, and it just, I mean, it was a ton of stuff. I mean, easily $1,000 or more worth of, well, $1,000 at the time worth of stuff. No figures, but it was all uh, ships and vehicles and things like that. Two or three TIE fighters, two or three snow speeders. I mean, really good stuff. Tauntaun. So anyway, so the guy was his mom was the one selling it for him, and I was panicking because his mom was there, and I was like, "So what does he want for all of this?" And she said, "Well, because I'm thinking, oh my God, he's going to want an arm and a leg. He'll want what it's worth, $1,000+ right?" So his mom said, "Well, he's trying to get an apartment, and he just needs the down payment on, or not the down payment, the the deposit for his apartment, and that's what he's trying to get. That's how much money he wants." And I said, "Oh, really? How much? Then how much does he want for all of it?" And she said, $187. I was like, "Holy smoke!" Because the AT-AT was $100 by itself. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And I'm hollering back at my dad. I'm like, "Dad, start the car. We're loading this stuff up and getting out of here quick." So it was that was perhaps one of the biggest scores. Now I did have another score from a friend of mine. His brother actually owned all of the not all of, but he had a ton of the figures, and I mean like a big plastic toolbox filled with figures, right? And this was a guy I went to college with. And he's like, "Yeah, he'll sell it to you." And I was like, "Okay, what does he want for it?" Well, he knew what he had, and he said, "Oh, he's going to sell it to you for 300." Oh, well, I mean, it's worth 300, so yeah, we'll go ahead and say 300. That's fine. So I ended up paying him 300. So I didn't get stiffed on the figures. I just paid price for them. But I mean, he did. He had a lot. He had two or three. John Biscardi's on. Hi, Biscardi. How's it going? He had two or three hundred figures. So I mean, it was probably right at $1 a figure that I spent. So that was kind of cool. Flipping it over here. Oh, oh, one of them's trying to escape. John Biscardi is on. John is the host of the Geek and I podcast. They did a live show last night to where they're discussing Picard. I think they're in the third season now. Third season of Picard on Paramount Plus. And John Biscardi will also not at the retro. Not today, man. I couldn't make it this year or this time. I tried. The Retro Expo is a show that they have up here. It's basically a big toy show. I would have loved to have gone. Don Bluth was there. It was going to be just an amazing, amazing show. But unfortunately, I could not make it this week. So I am, however, all set for. We have uh, coming up that John and I will both be at is the uh, Dallas Fan Expo, and we are both headed to that one. What in the world am I not doing here? There we go. So we are both headed to the Dallas Fan Expo. That's in June. They're going to have a lot of cool guests there. Um, I can't think of any off the top of my head. There was some. I was looking at the website earlier this week, just seeing who all was going to be there. There's always a lot of cool stuff there, though. I mean, what do you call it? Great comic book artists. The comic book artists are very approachable. They're easy to talk to. They like talking. Um, they did one panel last year. I don't remember if this was Fan Fest or Fan Expo, but it was two of the Spider-Man artists. They had worked on the Spider-Man comic books, and they had what they called a. It was an art duel. So basically, each one they both got up there and they were both doing their little interpretations of Spider-Man and how he works and different various poses and various things like that. And there we are. We're all set. And it was great. Those guys were amazing. Let's see here. So you pop it's got one of these little spring-loaded missiles in it. You pop it and you touch the back and it goes. But here is our 501st ground cannon. It looks really cool. There's a seat on it for one of the troops to sit on. It's just a little quadruped cannon. So, all right. We are done here. So, Fan Expo's coming up. I'll go ahead and do my little spiel here. Fan Expo we have coming up where John Biscardi and I are both going to be on it. Actually, I think Dave Gramillion's going to be there too. Yes, that's right. Hayden Christensen is actually going to be at Fan Expo this year. So, yeah, Hayden, that's a big deal. Darth Vader himself. So, episode 3, Darth Vader. Anyway, um, so we've got that coming up. And Rosario Dawson. You're very right. Thank you, John. So Darth Vader and Ahsoka, or Anakin and Ahsoka. Woo! Anyway, um, tonight Geek Gauntlet podcast. Go check them out. There's a lot of cool stuff going on there. They're talking all things geek. I mean, that's just like the broad spectrum of anime and DC and Marvel and Star Wars, and it's just the broad spectrum. It's great. William Morgan, Kat is there, and Sa, and there's a big group of them. They're great. Go check that out. Mondays is MCU Mondays. I don't think we're having a show on this coming Monday, but I think we'll have one next week. I'm pretty sure we're not having one this week, but go check it out. MCU Mondays. You can always check out our past episodes. We talk about the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe. Have a lot of fun with that. Also on Thursdays is Gin and Cantina Happy Hour. I'm the host of the Cantina Happy Hour. We sit and talk Star Wars. We're going to be talking Mando Episode 2, Season 3, Episode 2. We're going to be talking Bad Batch. We're almost done with the Bad Batch. I think we got about 5 episodes left of the Bad Batch. It's going to be great. Go check out all the old Cam and Focuses on the GNN YouTube page. They're all there. He does a great job. He's got a few interviews up there with some award-winning authors and things like that. It's really cool. Of course, check out geeknewsnow.net, the Facebook page. You'll find some amazing content, some great articles written by our lovely writing staff. They do their job and they do it well. Then also check out Facebook, Instagram, and Geek and I podcast. Go check out the live stream from last night. Broke big news: Star Trek Discovery being canceled. So you need to go listen to the Geek and I podcast. They've got some. They're doing Picard, like I said. Also, check out Captain's Logs and Lightsabers. Basically, all of our podcasts you can find on Podbean and Apple and all the wherever you find your major podcasts. That's where we generally are. We'll also transfer some of our shows into the podcasts as well, so that you can listen to the shows at work or while you work it. Anyway, Instagram, Facebook, all that kind of cool stuff. So go check us out. Geek News Now. Thank you for joining us on this Saturday for this lovely little Lego build. I've got a couple more builds down here waiting to be done. So we'll have some more live builds coming up as they see fit. We will see you all on Thursday night for the Cantina Happy Hour. Until then, may the force be with you all.
The boss is coming. Look busy.
A lot of Empire stuff
Oh,
to do.
Empire
Getting
stuff.
Empire stuff done.
Busy
all
with
done
Empire
with this
stuff.
Empire
This
stuff.
Empire
Yes,
stuff
this
looks
is
good.
Empire stuff.
Yes, I think